Hi everyone. I want to take just a few minutes to offer my support to those who are getting used to the lifestyle that involves a long-term physical disability. I want to start with just a short story. This morning I went up to the local hardware store to get a few parts for my power wheelchair. I've made this trip numerous times. I've watched on the way as Canadian geese have laid their eggs and raised their young children. And I've been watching as the Canadian geese, mom and dad, have protected their young. They hiss at me. I've been flocked at or flapped at with the wings a few times. What's amazed me this morning is to see the young Canadian geese starting to hiss at me as they've learned this behavior from their mom and dad. It reminded me of 2009. That's the year that I started using a power wheelchair. And it was a whole huge adjustment, learning how to cook, clean, bathe myself, and generally manage the tasks involved in day-to-day life. Well, a power wheelchair was now my means of mobility. And it got me thinking, seeing these baby geese taking after their parents. If you're just starting to go through the transition to this lifestyle, or if you're someone that's really struggling, these baby geese reminded me of the different people that came alongside of me in 2009 to help me to adjust to the changes that were needed so I could continue to manage my life and relearn the tasks involved in daily living. Some of these people were friends, and in our economic climate, I did need friends to do it because there's a very limited amount of financial assistance available for professionals. The other two key people were the occupational therapist and the social worker. So the occupational therapist dealt with the logistics of managing day-to-day life and suggesting steps or changes that I could make to managing my home, such as just a very basic example of how to wash my hands without agitating my hips. Another example was how to recover from a fall so I'd have peace of mind living on my own. And just for the record, I have fell a number of times because of severe arthritis, stiffness in my joints. So there were different logistical questions for day-to-day life that an occupational therapist helped me with. And what was crucial looking back is that the occupational therapist came to my home and showed me in my home environment how I could do things. It's paid me dividends to no end that I've been able to have my own home during all this. So when I needed to change the hardware in my bathroom, like putting up grab bars in the toilet support frame and something called a toiletator that raises the toilet about 3.5 inches off the floor, I could just go do it. I didn't need to answer to a landlord or seek permission to be making changes. And when I think about our current climate and the way the world's trending right now, the tiny homes movement may be a solution for some people. If they have a little bit of capital, they could invest in their own home. It's not going to be a traditional home, but it would be a space that you could adapt to your needs. Maybe having a wall oven where it's convenient for the needs of your body. And for example, the layout of the bathroom could be how you need it, not how the 99 percentile of the population needs it. The second issue that I brought up is the social worker. So the social worker was put in place to help me to connect to local resources, what's available, and then to ensure I was receiving enough emotional support during this. The reality of the situation is that I've advocated for myself for some time, and this wasn't new to me in 2009. I had been losing my mobility for the previous 4 years, and I had already gone through much of the adjustment that was going to happen. So I had learned what was available locally. I just want to give you a few tips that may help you. If you are genuinely stuck for clothing and you're willing to speak up for yourself, with proof, I believe the Salvation Army or a secondhand store may step up to help you with clothing. My local hospital gave me an over-the-bed table. It was one that they were about to discard, so I asked if one was available, and yes, one was. There are also plans online for if someone in your life is handy, they could easily build you one for maybe $45 worth of building materials, a set of wheels, a little bit of wood, and some screws. Even scrap wood from other projects may be enough to make a very basic one. There's the issue of groceries, and when I think about this, soup kitchens are available and food banks are available. You may be thinking to yourself, that's not for me or not what I want in my life. Communities started these resources as a safety net for those who need them. And so if you're in need and don't have a full belly, this is a starting place to find out, get some help while you work on a permanent solution. And I mean this in a sincere way. I've been there for myself, and I want to assure you that you are treated with respect and dignity while asking for their assistance. The few other issues of what's available locally is prescription delivery, using a pharmacist that offers free delivery within town limits where you live, working out a way that you'll be able to get to either a secondhand store or a big box store for items that you want to purchase. There's also the option of online shopping. I've done that no lack of times, so that I'm still in control of my life and doing what I can for myself. I've got a mailbox that's probably 16 inches deep by 12 inches by 12 inches. I bought it large because of all the online shopping that I do, and it would be nothing for someone to help you build one if you're willing to pay for a little bit of wood and varnish and maybe a hinge. The last part of what really helped me in 2009 was buying an accessibility kit. What it contained was a reacher grabber So that's like a prosthetic arm that extends your arm so you can reach what's fallen on the floor. It came with a magnet on the end so you can pick up coins. I bought a sponge on a handle in this kit, so that was used for bathing either on my back or my lower legs. It contained a sock horn. So a sock horn is like a U shape where you put your sock onto it and then you drag it onto your foot so it gets your sock on you. I had a long handle shoe horn in there because I couldn't bend, so it's about 18 inches tall and it goes into the back of your shoe to help you slide your foot in place. I bought shoes with Velcro laces so that I could put them on and off using my reacher grabber. And the last part of this was getting a shower chair for my bathroom. If you don't have the money for a new one, I've seen many used for sale at a second-hand store. The same with a raised toilet seat. A raised toilet seat is the temporary tool where if you have a long-term disability, the item called a toilevator is what's beneficial to you. And then what you do from there is just build systems. How am I going to clean? How am I going to do my meal preparation? What do I need for managing my disability and pain? And just building up systems. And once you have systems in place, life can become normal. It's not going to be the normal that you were used to since a child, but it's going to be a normal that you can get used to and adjust to. I'm going to close this video now. Just before I do, I want to apologize for the sun rising in the window behind me. I know it's affected my face while filming this. I am working on an alternative plan, but it's going to take me a little bit to get it set up. I sincerely want the best for you. And I hope these few ideas are something that's able to help you in your life. Thank you for this time together today. Bye for now.